Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here. Hey, you just heard me playing a little on Green Dolphin Street, or as I like to call it, Endorphin Street, or Dolph Lundgren Street. You know, it's always fun to sort of have some punny fun with the standards you play, right? I mean, I could go on about some of the titles that I like to share over the years, but that's not why I'm here. I want to talk about the idea of playing scales and arpeggios versus playing jazz, right? Okay, let's just get this straight. To be a confident improviser, you absolutely have to understand your scales, all 12 keys. You gotta have it, and you have to understand what is in like the two of the E flat, you know? I mean, you have to understand all the chords, right? F minor, F, A flat, C, E flat. Gotta know that. All the alterations. If you're gonna try to be a confident improviser without having these prereqs, it's gonna be really tough. Imagine trying to write a story without knowing certain letters. Well, you avoid words with those letters, right? And then your story gets to be pretty suck. So learn all your scales. Now, after you learn your scales and arpeggios, and maybe your time's okay too, let's just say you're doing a song like I was just playing, Green Dolphin Street, and you're playing it in E flat. Right? Okay. Now, why doesn't that sound like anything? Because you're just playing your exercises. If you played organized sports, let's just say you're playing basketball, and maybe before the game you shoot like a bunch of free throws, or you do like some stretches. Well, let's just say the ball gets tipped, like, you know, the downbeat's happening, and instead of playing ball, you're out there, you know, lining up at the free throw line, waiting for the ball to come to you, or you're just doing calisthenics. Gonna really have a hard time making the squad and getting any playing time if you want to be running your exercises when you're supposed to be playing. So, how do I be melodic? Well, I don't want to play licks. A lot of people say they don't want to play licks. Well, okay. I mean, unless you have like an incredible natural vocabulary, then good luck. But check it out. I picked this tune because I wanted to talk about tunes that have like a major chord kind of a vibe too, right? And you start off with the first couple bars playing this one chord. It's really tough to create tension on a major chord. A lot of people will go out there and again think, well, I'm thinking E flat Ionian. Well, I mean, like, that's really not the answer. And then people will be like, oh, well, unique of the Lydian too. Well, all right, if you're going to lay the sharp 11 on something, it's definitely going to have a modern sound. It's a cool sound, you know. You kind of come back to this early, you know, later in the song too, pretty much. So it can be like sort of redundant in some cases. But instead of, let's just say I'm playing Lydian, right? Here's my chord. Let's just say I play an idea, you know, an idea with that A in it. What I played there is pretty much off the 7th. You know, nice little kind of Pat Martino-esque sequence. like in a bass line and a lot of my melodic lines, I'm really looking to get to the next chord by a half step. Sometimes it can sound a little bit, maybe not like contoury, maybe is the word I'm looking for. But, you know, you kind of can vary up your lines and do other ways. I really think when you're trying to connect a line, that's the best way to go, is by ending up on a half step. That way I kind of took myself from this D natural up to, you know, the E flat. Kind of like to make it a 9. Sometimes you can play that as a 6, whatever you want to do, right? Another thing I do in this song is, instead of playing over that chord, and again, there's many different approaches. Sometimes all roads lead to Rome, but this is my road. This is Tamanini Boulevard. Instead of thinking about this as a triad, you know, the F triad over E flat, E triad over E flat, I always make this a kind of chromatic Philly 2/5. So I got the F7 and the E7, kind of gives me a little bit more tension. And when I play that, you can comp one of the bars and play over one of the bars, or again, you know, the idea is to play a line that's going to take you a half step away. Something like that. But anyway, always try to play melodic. Once you start running scales, it's going to sound really boring. So try to keep swinging, get the vocabulary happening, always be accountable for what you're playing. Is it musical? Is it helping the song? Or am I out here just running my exercises? All right, keep swinging. Bebop.